You can't just sit here all night nursing one drink, old man. This isn't a charity. The bartender's voice cut through the hum of conversation like a slap. Laughter hushed, glasses paused mid-air. At the far end of the bar, a frail man in his 70s looked up, his fingers gently wrapped around a glass of water. He wore a weathered navy jacket, its faded emblem barely visible under the flickering neon lights. His gaze didn't waver, calm and steady, but behind it lingered a quiet sadness. "I'll pay for a meal if you want," the owner added louder, more for the audience than the man. "Just don't loiter and bring down the vibe. We've got a business to run, not a shelter for your war stories." The old man rose slowly, his back straight, despite the years weighing on it. He didn't argue, didn't defend himself. He placed a crumpled $5 bill on the counter and walked out, leaving behind silence thick enough to choke on. No one moved to stop him. Not even a glance of apology followed him out the door. The next day, the bar opened like usual, the owner smugly telling the story to his regulars. But just before noon, black SUVs lined up outside the entrance. One by one, the doors opened and men stepped out, tall, broad, commanding. They weren't just fit, they were forged. Eyes sharp, faces unreadable. They moved like a unit, quiet but unmistakably dangerous. When they entered, the bar fell into stunned stillness. Without saying a word, the tallest among them approached the counter. "We're here for the man who disrespected Commander Roy Marshall," he said, his voice gravel and steel. The owner blinked, confused. "Who?" He slid a photo across the bar. A younger version of the old man, mud-streaked, uniformed, surrounded by these very same men. A trident badge gleamed on his chest. "That old man dragged me out of a burning Humvee in Kandahar. Saved all our lives at Ramadi. He trained half of SEAL Team 6. And you told him he was loitering." The bar owner's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Another SEAL stepped forward, eyes locked on him like a target. "We call him Ghost, because he's the reason some of us are still alive. You humiliated a legend." Patrons stared, someone filmed. The moment burned itself into every phone camera. The team didn't yell, they didn't touch a thing. They just stood there, their presence a wall of truth the owner couldn't look away from. Then, as silently as they came, they turned and left. But outside, the story exploded. Within hours, the video went viral on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Hashtags like #Justice for Ghost and #SEAL Salute trended worldwide. Veterans, active service members, and civilians flooded the bar's pages with outrage. Thousands of one-star reviews buried it overnight. By morning, a note hung on the door, closed indefinitely. But the world still wanted to know, who was Roy Marshall? Commander Roy Ghost Marshall had served in silence. A Navy SEAL sniper with over 2 decades of elite service, he never bragged, never demanded respect. After retirement, he chose quiet dignity over medals and speeches. His wife passed last year, his pension delayed by bureaucracy. That night, all he wanted was a place to sit, to remember, maybe feel less alone. He didn't need charity, he just needed kindness. And when the world turned its back, his brothers turned up, not to fight, but to remind the world who he was. Weeks later, the bar was transformed into a veteran-run cafe. One wall displayed a tribute, photos of Roy in the field, medals, memories, respect carved in every frame. Local lawmakers moved to rename the nearby park in his honor. Schools started using his story to teach kids about real heroes. Roy never asked for recognition, he didn't need it. But his silence had power, and his story, once ignored, now echoed louder than any headline. The moral: never mistake quiet for weakness, never judge a man's value by his appearance, because the quietest person in the room might be the one who once saved 100 lives, and would do it again without hesitation. That night, Roy walked out alone, but he didn't walk forgotten. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment, where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.